G2 versus Splyce. It was pretty spicy. It was 3-2 with G2 winning it. What happened, you guys?
So I thought that series was interesting. I mean, again, I had question marks for G2 winning as convincingly as they did, right? Because it's like we hadn't seen G2. G2 had been struggling. Perks hasn't been playing to the level Perks has been playing. And then I was thinking, I was like, well, Jankos has never made a final. Is this curse going to continue type of deal? And I don't know. I think they played really well from the bottom of the map. And then Wonder was just I think he was the all-pro European top laner, and it kind of showed, right? He's just like so consistent. He was always so good, and he helped the team like kind of like push through like those tough moments. And I don't know. I think Splyce's kind of like originality kind of like fell through or wasn't even there at times.
Yeah, G2, I mean, the rest of the team kind of basically Perks just did what he needed to do and held his lane. And the rest of the team kind of just pulled up around him and was like, all right, bottom lane is severely winning. Top lane is winning. And Perks was like, I've got my lane, so this is fine. And they just like did that to win the games. And it was some pretty dominating games. I mean, you'd have back and forth at the beginning, and then it'd turn into a team fight, which then would snowball the game. And Splyce, just like the way they looked in the quarterfinals, they look great. And then you look at this series, and Splyce just, in my eyes, was not playing at the same level that they were playing in the quarterfinals. And it was a little bit disappointing to see because I wish it was a lot closer of a matchup.
Okay. Yeah. So do you think that it was more Splyce not showing up or G2 like putting it into another, like raising the bar?
I think it has to be a little bit of both. Just because, again, I think like with the G2 like fall off, right? They hadn't been reading the meta too well. They weren't really sure, and then like their bot lane was just so good, right? And it's like Splyce's bot lane is not a bad bot lane, right? It's not something easy. You have Kasing, who was the all pro support, one of their top two, and like they were very good, but I feel like it was just kind of like their whole identity of like Niski's gonna help us through and stuff. Like Perks never fell behind, right? Like I think they were still reliant on, man, Perks is just having an awful slump, and kind of like what Austin said, it's like he just did what he had to do, which was not feed and kind of like keep his lane in check, right? And by doing the bare minimum, everywhere else in the map was fine, right? Because you didn't have like that snowbally chance. And I mean, we kind of even see that in the North American LCS, right? Which we'll talk about in a different episode. But it's very similar to kind of like what Team Liquid have been doing, of like their mid laner doesn't necessarily have to stomp. He just does what he needs to do, right? And I think that's what G2 was able to do. And I mean, they had identical results, right? It was 3-1. So
cool.
Yeah.
All right. I know we mentioned this last week. Jankos on G2 never made a final. He has a playoff debuff. Are we worried about him, or do we feel a lot more confident about him going into a finals matchup? Ignoring that it's Fnatic. Spoiler alert. But how does he look?
So he looked good. I mean, I was happy. I was extremely happy with how he was doing, right? But you could also tell that the pressure was on, right? With the European mic check that they released, at the end of it, he was like, "Woo, finals, let's go!" He got up, like they all took off their headphones. They were looking at him like, "What the hell?" He's like, "Hey, come on, it's my first one, right?" Like, so you could tell it was weighing on him, but he didn't really play like that, right? He didn't. He played to like he executed the plan, right? And I mean, I think more so than Jankos himself, I think it was really Hjarnan and Wadid that really pull through. I mean, Hjarnan had a quadra kill on Jhin in the last game to like secure everything, and everyone's like, "What the hell? Are Jhin smurfing?" Right? And it's just it's like super funny and perfectly that he got a quadra kill on Jhin, right? Like, so it was great. I mean, I think they really have stepped it up, and I'm pretty excited for finals.
Yeah, I think it's Hjarnan's and Wadid's first European final as well. I don't know if Hjarnan did he play at all on a big stage, because I mean, finals or third place match, they're both big stages. I don't remember if he made it last split or any split before.
I don't think so. I don't think so. So I mean, like, yeah, you have Wonder who did, right, for Splyce and nearly beat G2, right, ended up joining them. Perks is trying to cement and keep this legacy going. And I think, the other three hadn't really, I mean, Rocket made playoffs, I think, last year, like last summer. But they weren't like, they were like the Kingslayers, but they didn't really go much from that. Kind of like what ended up happening this year because of their just revamped squad. So I think they had some experience playoffs, but I don't think it's been like big stage, and that's obviously very different.
Yeah, gotcha. I just think the pressure's really going to be on them going into practice this week for gearing up for Fnatic. I mean, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, that'll be exciting. So we will get to the Fnatic G2 matchup, but